5 Best Places to Visit in Massachusetts. The sheer variety of experiences and tourist attractions in Massachusetts will astonish you. Boston itself combines the vibrancy of a modern university town and commercial city with treasured historic sites. Plymouth preserves and recreates the experience of New England's earliest settlers. Throughout the state, you can visit the homes and studios of some of America's most beloved writers and artists: Louisa May Alcott, Thoreau, Whistler, Longfellow, Melville, Norman Rockwell, and Daniel Chester French. But the places to visit in Massachusetts are not all about culture and history. Whether you head for the ski trails of the rolling Berkshires in the west or the long white sands of Cape Cod and Martha's Vineyard, Massachusetts is about kicking back and having a good time, too. Number 5. Salem and Cape Ann. North of Boston, and less visited than Cape Cod, Cape Ann is known for the picturesque fishing harbor at Rockport, and the working port of Gloucester. But in the know travelers come here for its beautiful and uncrowded beaches, its thriving art colonies, and the idyllic little towns of antique-filled historic homes. Salem was the hub of the China trade, and once one of the major ports on the East Coast, and its streets today are still lined by stately homes built for sea captains and prosperous merchants. It has literary connections as the birthplace and home of Nathaniel Hawthorne, and the added historic appeal of the infamous Salem witch trials, a grim history that Salem has turned into several tourist attractions. Number 4. Nantucket and Martha's Vineyard. South of Cape Cod and easy to reach by ferries, Nantucket and Martha's Vineyard offer sandy beaches and the relaxed pace of island life. Nantucket is a 15-mile-long island only 30 miles south of Cape Cod. Between 1740 and 1830, more than 125 whaling ships called Nantucket their home port, making it the world center for the whaling industry. You can discover more about whaling, whales, and the ships and seamen who hunted them, at the Nantucket Whaling Museum, filled with ship models, scrimshaw, whaling equipment, fascinating logbooks, and the skeleton of a 43-foot sperm whale. Elsewhere on the island are chic shops and restaurants, beaches, and miles of quiet lanes and walking trails. One of the most relaxing places in Massachusetts is laid-back Martha's Vineyard, only 5 miles from Cape Cod, but light years away in atmosphere. Its gentle landscapes are covered in farms and 6 villages, each with its own year-round local life. Some of its miles of beaches are beneath scenic sand bluffs. The appealing town of Oak Bluffs preserves rows of little 19th-century gingerbread cottages, built when it was a Methodist camp meeting site. Don't miss the historic merry-go-round, the Flying Horses Carousel. Number 3. Cambridge. Although part of Boston's metropolitan area and connected by a single transit system, Cambridge is a separate city. And within it are 2 premier universities whose campuses feel like cities of their own. Harvard is the country's oldest institution of higher education, dating from 1636, only 16 years after the Pilgrims landed at Plymouth. The campus, which you can tour free with a lively student guide, is centered in Harvard Yard, right at Harvard Square. Adjacent are the outstanding Harvard Art Museums, in a building designed by Renzo Piano, and farther on is the complex housing the equally prestigious Peabody Museum of Archaeology and Ethnology, Mineralogical Museum, and the Botanical Museum, housing the famous collection of glass flowers. The 150-acre Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT campus is an open-air art gallery, with sculptures by artists that include Pablo Picasso, Alexander Calder, Henry Moore, Jacques Lipchitz, and Auguste Rodin. Discover these with the help of a campus map, as you stroll among buildings designed by some of the greatest names in modern, postmodern, and contemporary architecture: Frank Gehry, Alvar Aalto, I.M. Pei, and Eero Saarinen, among others. 2. Cape Cod. Reaching out into the Atlantic south of Boston, Cape Cod is the city's summer playground, with miles and miles of white sand beaches and picturesque towns filled with tourist attractions and amusements. For active travelers, the Cape offers sailing, fishing, kayaking, swimming, and miles of cycling and walking trails. Nature lovers find bird-filled salt marshes, and whales to watch in the nearby waters of Stellwagen Banks. The seafood is legendary, and in the fall, entire landscapes are red with cranberries. A 40-mile stretch of Cape Cod's eastern coast is set aside as Cape Cod National Seashore, its perfect dune-backed beaches, woodlands of Atlantic white cedar, and bird nesting grounds networked by miles of hiking paths. At the outer tip of the Cape is lively Provincetown, known for its inclusive atmosphere and thriving arts scene, including live drag shows during the summer. Tourists also venture to the far end of the Cape to see the impressive dune system. Number 1. Boston. From the Brahmin bastion of Beacon Hill and the historic sites of the famed Freedom Trail, to the world-class art museums, the hub has something for everyone. Whether your passion is fine art, ethnic neighborhoods, Americana, antiques, seafood, modern architecture, black history, music, the revolution, technology, bookstores, boats, brownstones, boutiques, or baked beans, you'll find it here. Tourists interested in history can start their tour of the Freedom Trail at Boston Common, where you can get self-guided tour information or sign up for a tour led by a costumed interpreter at the visitor center. Highlights of the tour are the State House, Old South Meeting House, Paul Revere House, Old North Church, and Bunker Hill Monument. Tourists can also explore areas like the North End, a walkable neighborhood that is home to many historic sites, and several excellent pastry shops. Boston is a great city for families, offering plenty of attractions that interest all ages. The Waterfront District is a great place to start, home to the New England Aquarium and the Christopher Columbus Park. The famous Faneuil Hall Marketplace is only a 5-minute walk from here, offering a huge range of dining options, including a food hall, as well as tons of shops and cart vendors. Families also love the Boston Museum of Science, home to a planetarium, IMAX, and many interactive exhibits. Younger kids always adore the Boston Children's Museum, which is full of activities and playful learning, and any summer visit with kids needs to include a ride on the swan boats in the beautiful Boston Public Garden.